If you're a QuickBooks customer looking to grow without the growing pains, you need the Intuit ERP, the AI native ERP that upgrades right from QuickBooks. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
This episode is brought to you by Adobe Firefly, the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video generation. Built for today's creative process, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, and the timelines? Woo, yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Learn more at adobe.com/firefly.
Hi, I'm Ben Harper.
Hey, this is Brad Lukowicz. Hey, this is Lou Temple. You know me as Axel on The Walking Dead.
This is Smooth Bester Henderson.
Hi, this is William Duvall, singer of Alice in Chains.
Hi, this is Jim Cuddy from Blue Rodeo.
Hi, I am Zach Ward.
Hey guys, it's Alexis Ajoria, 7-time NHRA National Event Champion.
Hey, what's going on? This is Bubbles.
This is Ricky. This is Julian.
And you're listening to the Toddcast podcast, baby.
You know how sometimes in life you meet a friend and you just know that they're going to be your buddy till the end. Like even if you don't talk to them for a couple, 3 years, life just kind of has a way of slipping by, doesn't it? It's a month, becomes 2, becomes 4, becomes a year. But time really just doesn't matter. The next time you see that friend, you get on like it's been a day. Well, that's how I feel about Sportsnet 650 host and the play-by-play commentator for EA Sports NHL 2021, James Cybulski. He and I have known each other for about 20 years. And from the get-go, he's just been a beauty. Originally, we'd met through the broadcast industry. I hosted CFox's afternoon show, 99.3 The Fox, here in Vancouver for about 12 years. And at the start, when James, I think he was working for The Score, I believe at the time, he'd jump on my show and we talked sport. You name it, we covered it. We talked hockey and football, basketball, golf, and tennis. He's got one of the best sports minds in the country, in my opinion. And he's a guest this week. He was the sporting guest in our first podcast back in 2015. So it's been a few years. I mean, we've talked since the first podcast appearance, but you know what I mean. Joining C-Ball this week is model and golf influencer Katie Kearney, and you'll hear from this week's musical guest in just a second. Coming up in about maybe 15 minutes in Listen to This, Big Wreck singer Ian Thornley talks about being influenced by Queen early on in life and the impact that their Live Aid 85 performance had on him. That is powered by our friends at Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, RV service and repair, ICBC accredited. Find them online at tedcorvsuppliesinc.com. First, our first guest of 3, this week's musical guest is Bad Cop singer Jennie Cotterill. It's brought to you by Pineapple Sound, a recording and mixing studio in Langley since 2013. They also welcome podcasts and voiceover actors and a bunch more. Check them out through pineapplesound.com. Bad Cop is an awesome all-girl punk band from California. They're signed with Fat Records. It only took Fat Mike about a week after seeing them live to get them signed. 2021 is actually their 10 years as a band, and you gotta love their story. 4 friends banging it out. Bassist Jen Carlson starting the band with guitarist Stacey Lee, drummer Myra Galarza, and this week's guest, singer-guitarist Jennie Cotterill. Now, Jen Carlson actually left the band shortly after recording their first demos called Get Rad, and Lynn Lee is now in the band. And you gotta love their name. Bad Cop. There's no good cop in sight. Great little play on words. They're 4 EPs and 3 full-length albums deep. Their latest, called The Ride, was released last year. And you can hear the full conversation through our iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube accounts right now. Search it out through Toddcast Podcast. In the meantime, here's 10 minutes with Bad Cop singer, guitarist Jennie Cotterill.
The Toddcast Podcast.
I would love to go back, Jennie, before you were in any bands at all.
Oh.
I want to go back to the beginning. And what is the music being played in your house as a kid? What are the bands your parents are playing a ton?
Okay. My mom loves Motown. So that was like, that's like all she wants to listen to. And my dad was really into like ELO and like, you know, like pretty good 70s, 80s rock. And then like, I don't think anybody escaped Hall & Oates at that point. I was born in 82, you know what I mean? Like if you,
right,
that's what there is. Not a lot of like pop stuff. which is like a detriment to me in any kind of pub trivia situation. But otherwise, I don't really mind missing that. So yeah, like a lot of rock stuff. And then I think the Motown and oldies, like I grew up in Michigan a lot of my youth. And so like the oldies stations all around the world play different things, which is like one of my favorite things about traveling is like, what do you play? I don't know. My parents weren't like big audiophiles or anything.
Yeah. Interesting.
They're so nice and they're super supportive, but I think this was not like, I'm not like Stacy, like whose dad is a fucking musician, and it was like he's just waiting for her to give a shit and tell her everything. You know what I mean? Like, so I do have like a lot of my dad's records because like he doesn't have a record player anymore, and every time I go home, I'm like, oh, just take these too. Like,
yeah.
Mr.
You don't need those. You don't even have a record player.
Yeah. No, and he's like, oh, you like Jackson Browne? I'm like, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And so growing up in Michigan, then it must have been a lot of like Bob Seger must have been pretty big.
Oh my God. Yeah.
From Detroit, isn't he? Is he not? I think
he is.
Yeah.
There's like there's always like you see like a nice cool house and somebody in town is like, yeah, somebody from Bob Seger's band lives there, and it's like, I don't know if that's true. But like,
sounds good.
Let's say it is. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And what was the first concert that you went to?
Oh my gosh. I remember going to like little shows at this place called Pharaoh's Golden Cup, which was like a coffee house in a strip mall in like Westland or something. I don't remember what came first. My brother and I both kind of like got a hold of those like comps, which is I think was like pre-internet. That's how kids got music, because they were cheap, and that's why people my age like Fat Records. And so I know we went to see like Good Riddance was probably the first like touring band we saw there. Yeah. And then I remember a friend of mine for his birthday, Eric Holiday, wanted to go see the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and I was like, okay. So like we went, and Swingin' Utters opened, and I was like, this band is fucking amazing. Like,
cool.
So yeah, that was the first record I bought with my money. Was like it's a juvenile product of the working class, which is just kind of funny. I know it's not like some people have like the very romantic and articulate and like well researched like it was this, but it's like I don't really have that. That's okay. Other things have been romantic in my life.
Yeah. I would love to get a little bit past, the music and what you're known for.
Okay.
Of course, as soon as I mentioned that you were going to be a guest, I got a bunch of Bad Cop fan questions.
Oh, cool.
What are you currently binge watching?
Don't laugh, but Bob Ross.
Nice. Happy Little Cloud.
He's amazing.
He's so good. Like I remember as a little kid watching him thinking like art is easy.
Oh my God.
Because
he's
of guys
a
like
Zen master too. It's like just I love that. At first I was like, this is just like mellow and I can kind of chill out, but I feel like I do kind of learn things from him. Not that I have ever actually painted along with him, but like just seeing what he's doing, and like he just keeps it loose, and like it's meditative painting.
Totally.
And I think that would be like if there was a Jumbotron that I had control of, I would probably put that on, for most people. Like, everybody just take a minute and appreciate this. I love the Midnight Gospel. I am so blown away by the timing of that landing being very helpful. And I love cartoons and animation. I should say animation because I feel like I don't really love anything that's a cartoon, but it's like the art is unbelievable, and like the message is like, the audio is doing one thing and the art is doing 19 other things, and so like you can watch it a bunch of different times. But I think talking about mindfulness and like spiritual things right now is pretty important. So
I feel like, and don't take this the wrong way, I feel like that if you were to get a voiceover agent, you could get a ton of like animation reads.
Oh, I'm down. Just put this out here on your podcast.
It sounds like you could be a character in an animated cartoon.
Oh,
please don't take that the wrong way.
No, I love that. I love cartoons. I know I have a weird voice. Yeah, no, I love it. I want that job. I'll do it.
All right. Shane wants to know this is a hard question. What are the 3 albums that you would need on a deserted island?
All right. There's this album by Sweet Spirit called Kokomo, which I think it's amazing to name your album Kokomo when the Beach Boys album Kokomo exists. Right. But that's a perfect album.
Okay.
And I think probably This Year's Model by Elvis Costello.
I have been trying to get Elvis Costello on this podcast for like 5 years. Wow. I know his booking agent, the guy that does all his shows and shit. I'm always like, fuck, dude, come on, man.
Come on.
I'll give him a good interview. I'll make sure it's promoted a ton. Like,
wow.
On. He's like, dude, he doesn't do interviews, man. Are you kidding me?
He's Elvis so busy. Costello. Like, he doesn't need to either. No. You know what I mean? It's like, what press?
No need.
No need. Yeah, he's out of the atmosphere. I hope you get him though, just because that's a person who I think I own more albums by Elvis than anybody else.
Yeah, good call by the way on the Deserted Island album.
Yeah, thank you.
Call.
I might choose True Stories by Talking Heads too. That might be my other one. And that's kind of a double whammy because there's a version of that came from the movie. So it's like the soundtrack versions of those songs. And like, they're equally cool and kind of more ambient. I don't know. So those are my picks.
Interesting. Troy wants to know, what's your favorite superhero and your favorite superhero movie?
Well, I love Wonder Woman.
Yeah. It took some time for her to get a movie.
Yeah, I know. We saw that on tour too. It was, so I did love that one. I think that's probably my pick. The scene where they opened up on the island and all the women were like training. I started crying. I didn't mean to. I just started crying. I was like, I've never seen this before. Like, you know what I mean? So many women and doing something powerful instead of like you see, anytime you see lots of women in a movie, they're just being hot. You know what I mean? And it's like, look at all these women, you know?
Yeah.
But, so yeah, that's probably my pick. But I don't see a lot of movies. I'm kind of a wiener like that. I'm sorry. So
it's all right.
If anybody has recommendations, I'm super into it.
Which superpower would you want to have?
Ooh, shit.
Right? Too many.
I don't know. It might be nice to like get somebody to calm down. You know what I mean? Like get in there and be like, let's think clearly. Maybe, empathy. Really,
that might be like the power of empathy or something like
right?
that. You know?
Just give it to someone.
Totally. Like just chill. Have a Snickers, all right, and just chill out.
Yeah, have a Snickers.
Snickers, chill, everything.
Yeah.
Dave wants to know: do you think that aliens have visited Earth?
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Right?
You know? Not? You don't?
No, I think that people. I think that not only have they visited Earth, but I think that they live among us.
Yeah, I like that one. I don't think they live. I don't know. I think they've been here. And that's just, I'm sort of like a hopeful, like, why not? Why couldn't that have happened? Kind of person. And also like just the size of the universe. It would be silly if we were the only thing, or if we thought we were the only thing happening. So
yeah.
Plus, right. Like runes, fucking explain these runes to me.
Totally, right? Yeah. That and the pyramids and how all the things line up along the world on the same exact point, and like, how the fuck did that happen? How did that happen?
Tell me now. Yeah.
Musical guests of the Toddcast podcast are powered by Pineapple Sound, providing recording and mixing services for a wide range of artists and genres since 2013. Check them out at pineapplesound.com.
Oh, it's enjoyable. to. In the dark, it all makes sense. Nothing bad, nothing wrong. In the dark, some soul dialed in. Can't imagine, cannot begin to
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
If you listen to any Canadian rock station across Canada, you'll end up hearing Big Wreck. Any station worth their salt plays them, a staple of Canadian rock radio, you might say. Their singer Ian Thornley was born and raised in Toronto, studied jazz at Boston's Berklee College of Music, started Big Wreck in 1993. It wasn't very long before they were signed to a U.S. recording deal with Atlantic Records. And the last time that Ian was a guest at the podcast, he's been on a couple times, we talked about how he was bitten by the music bug early on in life, how he saw Bruce Springsteen at the age of 10, the shows that he was binge watching at the time, how the music of Supertramp is one of his earliest musical memories. We talked about legalized marijuana, Zeppelin came up, so did Inspiration, and Queen's influence and their Live Aid performance from back in 1985. Listen to this.
Queen.
Great band. Have you seen the Queen, what is it called? It's a Bohemian Rhapsody.
I watched it a couple days ago,
Yeah.
I thought he did a great job, Remy.
Amazing.
I thought he had the sort of the body language and he really did Freddie justice. Enough just to, I've been a huge fan of them for forever.
Mm-hmm.
I actually remember when I was a kid watching that Live Aid performance and just being bowled over by Queen's performance in particular, and the Dire Straits one as well. I was mesmerized by Knopfler's guitar playing. That was a big moment.
Listen to this on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC approved repair shop. Find them online at TedcoRVSuppliesInc.com.
That band is called Collision Course, and their song is Run. Looking forward to hearing more stuff out of that camp. A nice intro to the band, a great song from them. Played you Johnny Rath, and that's their new song called In the Ducks, and another song that sadly local Vancouver rock stations haven't jumped on. I don't do this very often, bag on radio on this podcast, as I think it just kind of looks bad on me, with people thinking that I'm just bitter after 20 years of having a radio career and getting shown the corporate door for no good reason, except that they deemed that I made too much money. But what radio needs to do right now is right the ship by playing step one, local bands that fit the format and rule and promote their local shows. Get the local scene working for you. Build the buzz around the bands that make your scene. Get the bands talking about your station, their fans, followers, and friends talking about your station, listening to your station, but I digress. What do I know? I'm just a podcast host. Okay, Todd's Trolls is coming up in just a bit. The stupid, mean, hurtful, but the truly funny things that people say to what you post, what you see online. This week, the Pretty Reckless, the new movie Land, and the Biathlon World Championships share that spotlight, powered by our buddies at the Garage Games and Geekery in Maple Ridge. Your place to play Warhammer, D&D, and a bunch more. Check them out through garagegames.ca. First, let's get to the second of three Toddcast guests this week. Our sporting guest, longtime friend of the podcast, Canadian sports broadcaster James Cybulski. Now, of course, you'll know James as part of the starting lineup on Sportsnet 650 here in Vancouver. You'll also recognize him because he's been in front of the TV. He's a former TV sportscaster and a reporter for Sports Central on TSN. He was on Sportsnet Pacific. He co-hosted Sportsnet Central with Carolyn Cameron. You may remember Seaball's work with the 2010 Winter Olympics. He got a Gemini Award nomination for Best Sports Reporting because of it. You might add that the following year, he won the Gemini Award for Best Sports Feature for his story about the relationship between Terry Fox and Jay Triano. The kid is one of the best in the biz. No question. And a couple years back now, Cybulski replaced Mike Emmerich as the play-by-play commentator for the EA Sports' NHL franchise. Starting with 2020, you'll love this part of the conversation, talking about getting the gig and all of the hours needed to execute a voiceover for a major league sports game. Super interesting. The full talk is definitely worth hearing. Search it out through Toddcast Podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube. Till you hear that, here's 10 minutes with Sportsnet 650 morning host and the play-by-play commentator for EA Sports NHL 2021, James Cybulski.
The Toddcast Podcast.
Who is your favorite NHL goaltender?
Right now?
Yeah.
Carey Price.
Oh.
I'm still a Carey Price guy. I mean, I'll never forget with the World Juniors were here in Vancouver in 2006. And in that December in training camp, Carey Price was one of the goalies, and he had just been drafted 5th overall by the Montreal Canadiens. And Price got cut. That was the year, if people remember, it was Justin Pogge who stole the show for Team Canada here in Vancouver. And so here was Carey Price, and I'll never forget sitting in the lobby at the Weston Bayshore by the waterfront out by Cole Harbor. And there was a bunch of the team. They had just taken their team pictures. They all kind of had their Team Canada warm-ups. And I remember a handful of the kids who had been cut, and Carey Price was one of them. And I just remember the kids are all kind of sitting there quietly, and Price just kind of said it to whoever was within earshot to listen. But he just kind of said, I'm going to come back here next year and I'm going to dominate. He just said it so matter-of-factly, basically fuck this. This sucks. I'm coming back next year and I'm going to own this thing. And you know what? A year later, we went to Leksand, Sweden, and that was the Carey Price and Jonathan Toews show where he put on a classic. And you look at how his career skyrocketed to where I think there were some people when he got taken 5th overall thinking, man, that's a reach to take a goalie that high, and him. And you know what? He went from gold at the World Juniors into later that spring going to the American Hockey League. You think about that as a teenager and dominates and takes the Hamilton Bulldogs, American Hockey League, the Habs farm team, to the Calder Cup, and they win the championship. So he's got World Junior Gold, and he backstops a pro hockey team to the championship. And then the next season, there he is with the Montreal Canadiens, and here we are in 2021. Like, look, I think the Habs have kind of, been up and down over the last few years, and I get the Price hasn't won a cup yet, but I'll tell you what, if the fate of the world is on the line right now and I need a goaltender, I'll take Carey Price as my guy right now.
What's your take on the fake crowd noise?
I hated the concept of it.
Same.
I hated the concept of it, but it actually has won me over in a big way. The approach of it. And I think soccer nailed it. If you watch some of the European broadcasts, I think they've really done a nice job in terms of blending in some of the crowd chanting and the humming and the applause. And just, I really think it's been seamless. I think when you look at what they've done with the UFC to not have any crowds and just go in a more intimate setting, I think the UFC's been great. Football's been pretty good. I think football's been pretty good. And I think the NHL's been all right. It was interesting. The league, and I don't know the full details of it, but I know that the NHL reached out to the EA Sports NHL broadcast team and to ask for some advice how to approach the NHL's return to play in the bubble in Edmonton and Toronto last year with the crowd noise. And and I think one of the pieces of advice that the EA Sports team had suggested to the NHL is treat it like a neutral site game, right? So treat it as a neutral crowd. So anytime there's a goal, everybody's cheering. There's cheers for the crowd, for the home team, the cheers for the away team. You just treat it more a neutral site. And I think I'll say this. I've liked it way more than I thought I would when it came to the piped in crowd noise. Cause my first thought was, oh my God, this is terrible.
What a cheesy idea.
It totally, I was like, no, I do not like this idea. And you know what? The more I watched, and we've got some really talented people in this industry. And I think it's really been on display. And I don't know if they've got enough credit for what they've done for the audio technicians and engineers over the last year when it comes to sports and the return to play.
Yeah. Yeah, well said. I guess I am
like
coming around to it, but man, I tell you, I fucking hated it for the longest of time.
The theory of it, I hated.
Yeah.
But the execution of it it's been pleasant for me.
Oh, my second question, my eldest James.
Hi, James.
He wants to know, what is your favorite sport?
That's a great question, man. It's funny. I probably would lean towards, I guess, hockey nowadays. I was such an NFL guy growing up. I like to consider myself a sports fan. I guess if you got to pin me down to one, I'll go with hockey. But I just love to I always thought of myself as a well-rounded guy. Like, man, the NBA finals, there's nothing better for me, when you got two great teams matching up in a 7-game series in basketball. There's no team I'm probably more passionate about than the Chicago Bears at this stage of my life in the National Football League. And to go to Chicago finally as a fan after all these years to Soldier Field about a year and a half ago was unbelievable. But I guess I'd probably say hockey.
What was the music like in the Cybulski house as a kid growing up? What are your parents playing? What do you be influenced by as a little tyke?
Well, my parents always had 580 CFRA on in the house growing up in Ottawa. And that was their brand. And we went from listening, it was an all hit station when I was little. And it went from all hit radio to oldie station to talk radio. But we were kind of an all over the map. Like my mom she kind of loved her pop music and disco. My dad loved his Elvis Presley and Motown. And my older sister, she was about 6 years older than me. So kind of early 80s, she was big into mod, if you remember that, or new wave and punk. So I was definitely an all over the map. As a kid, I think everybody on the planet loved Michael Jackson as a kid.
Yeah.
But, I absolutely love the Motown sound. Love the doo-wop. And so definitely there was a lot of, I guess, oldies. The oldie station was definitely large and in charge. So a lot of 50s and 60s, folk country, that sort of, Johnny Cash and Marty Robbins that my dad would always be whistling, or Waylon Jennings and that sort of element. And then I kind of had the influence from my sister, who kind of taught me to keep it real with a little bit of Adamant or Madness with Our House. And somewhere along the way, I took my love of Motown and Michael Jackson and what my sister was digging and my parents, and kind of created my own sort of taste, which is that eclectic hodgepodge of anything that ranges from Public Enemy to Guns N' Roses to the Foo Fighters to Kendrick Lamar and to the soundtrack of Frozen.
Yeah. You were saying last time, I think you were getting a little bit into jazz, you were saying.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I love horns.
Same.
I love horns. And
There's a
so
pause for a second. A local band in Vancouver with horns, check out a band called Small Town Artillery. Fucking great band.
Small Town Artillery. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I will check them out. But like Nathaniel Rateliff.
Yeah. Great.
And to see what, just bringing in the horns, just love a song that gets me hyped. I like 25 or 624, from Chicago.
Yeah.
Boom. You want to get me fired up? Just give me some horns. And to this day, if the kids aren't in the car and it's just Brenda and I driving and I'm just DJing and I'm riding shotgun, I will drive her fucking bananas because I'm just playing something loud. I'll put some Stevie Wonder on, or just something that's got some horns, and just the shimmy shake in the car, and all of it. That's totally me. Some harmonies, some harmonizing, and some horns. You can't go wrong.
Love it. What was your first concert?
Maestro Fresh Wes.
That's right. I think I did ask you last time about that.
The godfather of Canadian hip hop, which years later, to be able to, I helped organize a charity event in support of relief for the Haiti earthquake in 2010. And Maestro was part of it. And totally, I would consider Stroh a friend now.
Yeah.
Or Wes, if you will. But at the time, to kind of just oh my God, this is Maestro Fresh West. Let your backbone slide. You're trying to be cool. You're trying to be cool, but just totally oh my God, it's Maestro. And so I was definitely, that was concert number one. That, and probably, I think, a live performance of Today's Special.
Right.
If you remember that kids' TV series.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts as a concert or not. Maybe.
Music, sports, entertainment, lifestyle. You're listening to the Toddcast Podcast.
The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca.
A look at this week's keyboard warriors, Todd's Trolls, on the Toddcast podcast.
And it doesn't matter where you surf. It's everywhere online. It's the garbage comments made to get a rise out of someone, no one, and nothing is safe. Take the Pretty Reckless. They've had 4 number 1 songs on the US rock chart, and yet they still take heat. Their new album, Death by Rock and Roll, comes out this Friday, February 12th.
Just because you can make music doesn't mean you should make music. The album title is super ironic. No doubt you'll want to kill yourself while listening. If people stopped listening to this garbage, they'd probably stop making albums. No offense, of course.
Coming to theaters as of this weekend, Land, which stars Peter Saroff, Kim Dickens, Robin Wright, in an ensemble cast just too long to mention. It's about a woman on the brink of death and her search for the meaning of life in the vast and harsh American wilderness.
Geez, Hollywood, just pumping out them feel-good movies. Is it normal to want to hurl yourself off a building after watching a movie trailer? Just asking for a friend. See? Get a bunch of good actors together to make a movie, and it doesn't mean shit.
And the Biathlon World Championships 2021 are scheduled to take place in Slovenia between February 9th, today, and the 21st. The biathlon, by the way, is that winter sport that combines cross-country skiing and rifle shooting.
Wait, cross-country skiing and shooting a gun? The US better win this, or it's rigged. Whoever thought of combining skiing and shooting to create a sport probably smokes the best weed. If they were allowed to shoot random things along the way, sure, maybe then I'd watch. Maybe.
Todd's Trolls on the Toddcast podcast is powered by The Garage, Games and Geekery, your place to play RPGs, board games, and Warhammer in Maple Ridge. Online at garagegames.ca.
If you're listening to this song going like, why do I recognize that guy's voice? Why do I know his voice? It's because it's Matt Wood, the drummer, singer of Pride Tiger, and his new project is called Good As Gone, and a great song for those guys called Tall in the Saddle. That's just, in fact, one of Matt's new projects that he's working on lately. He's got another band called Worse that is super heavy as well. Good to see Matt continuing to crank out the music here. One of my favorite local voices for sure. And he's a super nice guy as well. You heard Brass Camel, and their song was called Issues, and COVID kind of screwed up a show that we'd been planning with those guys. I think it was set for May or June of 2020. Really good band. Was excited for that one, and I'm sure that once the pandemic is under control and the government is allowing gatherings of 100 people plus, you'll probably see the podcast and Brass Camel join forces once again at the Railway. Speaking of the live music, if you're seeing a limited capacity show or maybe it's an indie live stream, let us know about it. And we'll post it at the Indie Scene at our website and maybe play a song or two to support the show on the podcast. The Indie Scene is brought to you by Mystic Rhythms Rehearsal Studios. 40 plus years experience in the music industry. You can find out more through mysticrhythms.ca. Okay, our final guest of this episode 238 is model and golf influencer Katie Kearney. This week's entertainment guest brought to you by Tomes. If you're having trouble getting to sleep and staying asleep, let them help. Try the first week for free, absolutely free, at Tomes.com. That's TAUMMHOMS.com. TAUMMHOMS.com. Katie Kearney is well known for a couple of reasons. She's a model and a big golf influencer. She has a following of around 500,000 people. Katie graduated from St. Louis University with a degree in journalism, and based on our conversation, you can expect and watch for her to become a golf presenter in the future. You'll see. Check out the full interview at our YouTube page. She's a natural. And I thought this was pretty cool. We talked about how her dad is a retired NFL linebacker. So she's been around pro sports since being just a little tyke. In fact, her dad, who got her into golfing at a young age, she says in the Zoom that we did, when I asked about her best round at golf, she goes, I'm not very good. I think it's something like 85. I was like, what, 85? I think I could golf every day for the next year and never hit 85. I'm happy to break 100 legitimately. This was a fun interview. She's committed and engaged to the conversation. It really does flow well. The full talk is posted at our iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube accounts. Again, search it out through Toddcast Podcast. Till then, here's 10 minutes with model and golf influencer Katie Kearney.
The Toddcast Podcast.
Where did you spend Christmas and New Year's and all that?
So I'm originally from St. Louis. My dad played in the NFL for the St. Louis Cardinals. So cool. My parents live there. So I always go back for Thanksgiving and for Christmas. And usually my dad and I play golf every holiday. My poor mom.
What's your first memory of your dad playing football in the NFL?
I was so young that I don't remember him playing vividly, and I never really put two and two together, that, he's a NFL linebacker until I got into high school, and a lot of guys were too afraid to date me and still are too afraid to date me. And, I'll never forget, I met this one guy and he was like, "Oh, your dad's Killer Kearney." And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" I guess at one game, he clotheslined a guy before it was made illegal and almost decapitated him. So his nickname was Killer Kearney from there on out.
Yeah. Wow. And how's his golf game compared to yours?
Well, he's retired now, so he plays every day.
Oh, he's got more time.
Yeah. So he's good, but he is like a big linebacker. So he can crush it off the tee, but no idea where it's going to go.
Oh, well, that's great. Yeah. How's the short game for you? Are you getting out more than normal right now, or?
Right now, yeah. My short game's actually been pretty good. I was fortunate enough to play Augusta a few weeks ago, and I played better on the par 3 than the full course.
Right, of course.
Which for
That's
me
what
is
it's about, though,
uncommon.
too. Like, if you don't have a good short game, fuck, your game's done.
Yeah. Do you play?
Not really. I do, but
No.
if I break 100, I'm like, whoa.
Hey, that's good.
Right, and legitimately break 100. I'm not like, there's no
Yeah.
kick chips in my game, right? It's like,
See, I like that.
there's lots of beer. There's a little bit of weed. Like, that's the thing. I would love to see the, like Tigers and all those of the worlds that, maybe playing like the boys do, having a couple beers, having a couple joints. Let's see how they do.
I would like that too. When I play in the pro-ams with the guys, I'll like have a glass of wine in like a paper cup and stuff. And those are my most fun rounds. Those are my favorite days.
Those are the ones you're going to remember.
Absolutely.
Or maybe not, depending on how far you go. So if not for Tiger, and actually, do you think the Tiger is like the best of the last, 20 years? If not Tiger, who is the best?
I mean, yeah, Tiger's from like back when I was a kid. He was the legend. So I'm still on the Tiger train. I think I always will be. And I went to the Zozo Championship when they hosted it in Japan last year, and I got to walk with Tiger inside the ropes. Nice. And seeing how his presence affects people. I mean, he just walks into a room and it just stops. I don't know what it is, but he just has like that Tiger effect. So that's really cool to see. So, I mean, I think as like the greatest athlete of all time, I mean, he's definitely top 3 in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. What's your best round? What have you shot?
I would say like mid 80s. Like I'm not like a pro golfer by any means. So I do like brand endorsements. I go to the courses, I promote them, play in the pro-ams, do a lot of like the celebrity charity events. So for me, it's ideal because I technically get paid whether I shoot, 72 or 102.
Right.
So
you get
for
paid
me,
to show
ideal.
up.
Yeah.
You're like a comedian. Like, yeah, I'm not going to, I might be funny, but I'm fucking in the building.
You never know.
The bills.
Depends if I'm hungover or what.
Totally. And are there any other sports that you like almost as much as golf?
To play or to watch? I mean,
Both.
I love to watch hockey.
Yeah.
It's definitely my favorite sport, which is
who's
ironic.
your team?
The Blues.
Okay, so they're a good team.
Girl.
You get to follow a good team. Canucks out of the gate, we're stumbling. 1 win, 3 losses already. Like, damn it.
Yeah, this is such a weird year too because I mean it's such a compact season, but I'm glad it's back. It's been really fun.
What do you think of the are you watching, right? You're watching on TV. What do you think of the fake crowd noise? Pisses me off.
I think it's so weird.
It's so cheese.
I agree. It's kind of like the cardboard cutouts they do. Like, I think those are so cheesy. Like,
Terrible.
Just let it be. It's not helping.
Like, I think that, Katie, the funny thing is like, and they're missing this. The producers are missing. Like, I have no TV experience. I have just 25 years of radio. But like, my mind works in the, like, they're missing the only chance to do what they're able to do right now with nobody. Like, that's the unique thing. Don't make it seem like it's normal hockey. Like they're going to look back and go, yeah, we fucked that up.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many different opportunities they could do with it right now. They could even just get 50 fans, spread them out and then mic them up and get their reactions or whatever, get some comedians, get anything. Like they have such a missed opportunity right now. And then just throw cardboard cutouts and fake cheering. It's
the fake cheering is just too much. Are you a big MMA fight fan? Are you going to watch the McGregor-Poirier fight coming up this weekend?
Just this year, I went to one UFC fight at Madison Square Garden, and it was really cool. I actually got to go with Robert O'Neill, who was on the SEAL team that shot Bin Laden. So I was nervous, but also felt very safe. But I was also like, if somebody's coming after him, I'm sitting right next to him.
Yeah.
So that was really, really cool. So anyways,
that's crazy. Did he talk to you about the Bin Laden thing much, or?
He catches a lot of criticism because he will go and talk about it, and he wrote a book, and he has another book coming out this summer.
Yeah, like,
and
why wouldn't you talk about that though? Like, why would you get flack for that? That's.
I guess there's something with the SEALs that it's like a forbidden. So the other 3 guys who are on his team, I guess there's a big issue between them because Robert is very vocal about it. Which I mean, if I was the one that did that, I would be vocal about it too. That's such a badass thing.
Totally.
So yeah, it's an interesting situation. But to go back to your question, so yes, I'm watching UFC now, and I'm definitely excited for that fight.
Yeah, who do you think takes it?
I've always pulled for McGregor.
Yeah,
but I just like him.
He's such a good fighter.
Yeah.
And Poirier, I think he's moved so much since that last fight, but also so has McGregor.
Yeah.
Like, he dismantled. Did you see the Cowboy Cerrone fight? It was like Cowboy freaking Cerrone, and he just destroyed him.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really fun fight.
It will be, yeah. How old were you when you started modeling? And what was the first how old were you for your first paying gig?
So I signed my first contract on my 15th birthday. So I got scouted when I was 14 and then started professionally, like, making money at it when I was 15. And I did it all throughout up until now, and I'm 32 now. So it's been a long run.
Right.
But it was cool. Like, it helped pay for my college. I was traveling all over the country. My parents, fortunately and unfortunately at the time, I was very upset, but they forced me to go to university after I graduated instead of going to model overseas. And at the time I thought it was the end of the world. But now, because like when you're younger, your youth is so important. And, to start going overseas at 22 is like, you're so old at that point. So I was really sad. But now I look back and I cannot thank them enough for forcing me to do that, because now I have a degree that I still haven't used to this day, but it's there.
Degree? What's your degree for?
Broadcast journalism, actually.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So I got a job at Fox News just as like an intern. And then once I finally graduated, I went over to Greece and Milan and South Africa.
Interesting. So is that something that will be down the road for you?
Yeah, I would love to. I would love to go into golf, obviously. I mean, I love hockey. I love all sports, and I just like being in that environment. So any sort of sports broadcast journalism, I would love. And I think that's definitely a good stepping stone I'm still modeling, but I would like to transition more into the media side for sure.
Right. Are you going to be like the 22 million people that started up a podcast this month? Are you going to start up a podcast and bring famous friends and stuff on? And
maybe, I don't know. So right now I just like doing all my friends' podcasts.
Yeah.
It's more fun.
Entertainment guests of the Toddcast podcast are powered by Tomes, where quality sleep matters. Find out more at tomes.com. That's TAUMMHOMS.com.
Not ready to sing this song. They say the writing's on the wall.
absolute riff masters. They are called Dead Quiet, and that's a song from their latest album, Truth and Ruin. The song is called Forever Unsung, and you can check out our Twitter account right now for the world album premiere as we go track by track through the songs, listening and talking with their singer, Kevin. I love that band, Dead Quiet, and one of my favorites of the last decade, to be completely honest. Hey, big thanks to this week's guests, Bad Cop, Jennie Cotterill. Thank you so much for jumping on Zoom, shooting the shit. Nice job with the latest album. You guys absolutely rule. Sportsnet 650 host, NHL 2021 play-by-play commentator James Cybulski. Of course, big love, always buddy, great to hang. Look forward to tipping back a few once COVID takes a hike. And model and golf influencer Katie Kearney, thank you so much for hitting a Zoom with us as well. Love your presence on social media. Appreciate you taking the time. That is going to do it for this episode 238. My name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard, please tell your friends about us. If you didn't, tell me. I'm going to fire everybody on staff. You can not really. You can subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube. We're also heard on the Dean Blundell Network out of Toronto at deanblundell.com and the Boot Crew Media Network out of New Orleans at bootcrewmedia.com. Spell crew, Krewe. bootcrewmedia.com. You can comment and rate the podcast as well. Of course, that helps out. Search it out through Toddcast Podcast. A huge thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. We couldn't do it without their support. You can find links to all sponsor websites at toddhancock.ca. If you'd like to sponsor the podcast with your business, you can for as little as $10 a day. There's contact info at the homepage. If you help us find a sponsor, we'll give you a commission based on the ad buy. So keep that in mind. If you know a business that understands outside of the box advertising, let them know about us. Till next week, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
The Toddcast Podcast. Keep in touch with Todd through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and bookmark toddhancock.ca.
Reality TV is messy.
Pop culture is louder than ever.
And the internet
completely unhinged.
Welcome to Roxanne
and Chantel,
the podcast where cousins Roxanne and Chantel break down reality TV, celebrity drama, and the stories everyone's texting about.
We recap the shows,
spill the headlines,
and sit down with the stars themselves.
No filter,
no boring takes,
just the tea.
New episodes every week.
If it's trending,
we're talking about it.
This is Roxanne
and Chantel.
Let's get into it.
Do you ever watch a TV show set in a historical time period and think, how accurate is this really? But also, does it matter if it's accurate or not?
Nefertiti is a new podcast about shows set in ancient times. This season, we're recapping every episode of the show Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
I'm Ann Foster, and I have never seen this show before.
And I'm Gina Berry, and I have watched this show maybe too many times.
Join us every other Monday on the Nefertiti podcast as we discuss the real history behind Spartacus, Blood and Sand.
Follow Nefertiti, that's NEFER-TV, wherever you get your podcasts.
The Tudors were probably the most scandalous dynasty in British history. This season on Vulgar History, we're spilling the tea on this messy, messed up family and the people who had to live through it all. Anne Boleyn and the other wives of Henry VIII are known today from the musical Six, but who were they really? Did any of them actually want to marry him? Henry VIII, the man who was literally the worst? How did two of them manage to escape with their heads intact? We'll also get into historical mysteries, like who really wrote Shakespeare's plays? Who was the real Bloody Mary? And what was happening elsewhere in the world while the Tudors were trampling all over England, like the mysterious disappearance of the Roanoke colony and the true story of the girl known as Pocahontas. I'll be joined by Tudor historians, experts, and a few of my friends who really hate Henry VIII to learn all about the Tudors this season on Vulgar History. Because it's Henry VIII all day, every day. Listen to Vulgar History wherever you get podcasts.